Hello there, and welcome to Dharma Science Radio. My name is Ian, and in this space we are here for the transformation of suffering into joy. And so today we'll be listening to Ra Uru Hu give a talk about the generator signature vibration, this essential transformation from frustration into satisfaction. And so I will be providing some commentary and interpretation onto Ra's words to aid in the understanding and in the entertainment value. So without further ado, let's hop right on in.
What if somebody asks me to go into the slave trade with them? What if somebody asks me to go to the Antarctic and live off whale blubber? And I go, what then? Go! You may really get into whale blubber and maybe your whole story. You don't know. You don't know. See, manifestors don't care about themselves. Projectors are only interested in why other people are so stupid. Reflectors wish they could be here all alone because at least it would be peaceful. Generators. The sign over Delphi, it said, generators only. Eh? The manifestors got pissed and wiped it away, but generators only. You come up there and the oracle looks at you and you say you're a projector and they say, no, not here. This is not your place. This is only for generators. Only generators are here to know themselves. Which means if they don't, are they ever in trouble? And who do you think they know? They don't know who they are. They know they're not self. They know all the things they're not. This is their trip. They think they know themselves. They don't. Their mind runs their life. Their mind is ruled by their not self. A generator with an open ego isn't going to know themselves. They've already decided that they are unworthy. They're spending their whole life trying to prove to others that they're a good person, a nice person, a smart person. They become those wonderful slaves. Oh, it's so easy to make a generator a slave. Wow. Just tell them to be like a manifestor. And then they'll tap into their not self. See, the thing that scares me is that human beings think they know their purpose. That is, their purpose is rooted in their not self. You come into the world with an open ego. All you ever want to do as a purpose is to prove that you're worthy.
This is such a profound thing, truly, because what happens is that we're born and we're given this body graph chart. We're given all these 9 energy centers, these 9 chakras, and they're either with fixed definition, channels that connect to each other and apply a consistent energy relationship between 2 quantum themes, or the energy center is open and receptive and undefined, and in which case it is ample for the mind to go right into that open center and to amplify the entire field into a survival strategy that does nothing for the individuals fulfilling their differentiated purpose. And it's everything about the biological survival mechanisms, go forth and multiply, make more, make more, make more. So it's find something that's totally different from you and merge and make a brand new thing, because we need genetic sustainability. And so back to Ra.
You don't have to prove anything to anyone. Yet the mind will make decisions based on that. It will lie to you. It will lie to others. And worse, you become so dependent. See, I try to train wolves, the generators, the not-self generators. These are the great sheep of the world. Blind sheep. And in their frustration, they're willing to try just about anything. And it never has anything to do with them. It took me about 10 years to teach people about the not-self because I didn't want to scare them off. Because I've seen now that the not-self keeps the generator away from their magic, their mind. Their mind robs them of their magic. Think about this theme of satisfaction. This is the goal of the generator, but what does it mean? See, when I think of the generator, because I'm somebody who has absolutely no activations in the sacral, when I think generator, I only feel power. Power. See, for me, generators are power beings. They have this incredible depth of fertility in their energy. I mean, it is incredible what one can feel, because after all, if you have an open center, you amplify. I take in the generator frequency. I live in a house surrounded by generators. I have 3 generator children. I take in this deep, deep frequency, this power that is there. And you see, when the generator truly understands that this is what they're about, this energy, and only when that energy is used correctly will they ever know what satisfaction is.
That is such a key point to make, because this sacral center, which if defined automatically creates the generator aura type, this sacral center is the origin source of all the prana in the world. This is where the life force energy of life itself comes from. It's where it's generated, it's where it's sustained, it's where it's regenerated. It's where it comes from, the origin source. And so if you're a generator, then you have a fixed mechanism for responding to life, and you have a specific mechanism for what it is you respond to, the way in which you are here to use your energy that can then properly regenerate. Because if you use your energy correctly, then you can work until you're tired and you can sleep well at night. And you wake up refreshed, with energy, ready for the new day.
You see, a generator, when it does anything through response, think about what the mechanism really is. The mechanism isn't a mental thing. It is the sacral motor itself responding. It's the motor. What does a motor say? If we could anthropomorphize a motor, what can a motor say? It can say, I can handle this. You know, the little train that could, you know, that children's film, you know? I think I can, you know? When the sacral responds, the energy is there, the power is there for whatever it is. Whether it's for a moment or for a lifetime. Whether it's a commitment to the moment or a commitment to the lifetime, it doesn't matter what it is. When that sacral goes, yes, that motor is saying, I can do this and more. What it's saying is that this is something that will use my energy correctly. One of the many things that I've taught generators is about how important it is for them to go to sleep when they're exhausted. You know, the worst thing for a generator is the false bedtime, I've got an early this or that, so I'm going to try to go to sleep early and all this stuff. This is not a psychological thing. It's about the motor. the motor. You see, for a generator, every use of energy is like the journey to orgasm. And only when you really understand it that way will you understand what that satisfaction means. When somebody says to a generator, "Can you do this?" and they go, "Uh-huh." In that moment, they are committing their energy not simply to the thing, but they're committing to use that energy to its exhaustion. This is what makes them special. See, generators are not simply generators, they are regenerators. It's something my son Loki taught me about. Telephones and batteries. You know, I was always keeping it on the charger. He said, well, the battery isn't going to last long that way. You know, make the battery go all the way out and then charge it again, and it really, this is the generator. You have to use your energy completely. It doesn't mean that every act is an act of exhaustion. Please understand. It means that you will give all the energy that your sacral can produce for that thing that you've said yes to, and when it's done, you're going to feel satisfied. And it's a deep satisfaction. Generators are here to be used well. Your resource. You have this enormous power within you. And all it takes is the commitment of your energy to what is correct. And then I go back to the beginning and I think, Jesus, I told them enough. I traveled all over. I did my very best as a 5 to seduce the hell out of them and get them to see, try this, come on. The mind, I mean, what a pain in the ass the mind is. How it gets in the way of everything. See, for a generator, the moment that your mind has taken over, you are really lost. You are never going to use that energy correctly. You're not. So you're not going to have the satisfaction. You're not. You're going to get this thick patina of frustration that covers this whole planet.
It really is that profound. It is very simple in the sense that if your mind rules your life as a generator, you'll never really find your satisfaction. Because if mental decision making is the dominant force for you, then what we'd see if we were to look at a chart is that the open center themes, is that the bridging gates, is that the transference of motivation, these will be the key elements for the personal identity of that amplifying mind. Because it's going into that ego center, it's going into that heart, and it's trying to prove its worth, it's trying to improve itself. It's going into that undefined root center, and it is being busy, simply to relieve the pressure, even though it's just simply being busy to get it done. And if we're talking about the open crown center, for example, we're dealing with things that don't matter. So that we're proving our worth being very busy about something that doesn't matter. And that's a fundamental way in which the mind overrides that sacral center if you let it.
See, I understand people in certain ways. One way for all of us to understand the other is to understand the aura of any type. Because the moment that you really understand the way their aura works, you get a deep glimpse into who they are and what they can do. The generator has an enveloping aura. Not like me, the manifestor, with my closed, cut off aura. This big, enveloping aura that takes everything in. This is how life on this planet is maintained. This is the force. And when you meet a generator and they put this aura around you, it also means because they have an enveloping aura, they are deeply vulnerable to conditioning. Deeply. Because they open themselves up so wide and take it all in. See, when you came into the world and you were a generator child, your parents began to train you to be a manifestor. You know, this is the beginning of the end for generators. Nobody respected you. You were told what to do. You weren't asked. You were told that you've got to deal with things yourself, that your mind has got to decide what is right for you and wrong for you, that it is you that has to decide mentally what your world is going to be and where you're going to go and how you're going to do it. You know, I used to sit with generators in a reading. And I was trying to get across to them that their sacral can make noises. You know, it could communicate
Mm-hmm.
directly. And I'd be sitting there and I'm doing their design and I'd hit some button and I'd hear them go, and I'd stop. And I'd say, did you hear that? And they'd look at me the way sheep look at you here when you show up with the headlights on. Hear what? You just made a sound. No, I didn't hear it. Okay, I go back, I do the reading. I get to another hot spot. They go, whatever. I said, yeah, did you catch it? Yeah? Huh? Yeah? Eventually I would say, look, when you hear the recording, the one making the funny noises is you. That's you. That's the one I'm going to trust. That's the one I'm going to believe. See, the nice thing about generators on the positive side is that they can be the most honest human beings that were ever put on this planet. Absolutely, purely, right there, truthful. You know, it's like generator lovers. I mean, if you want to see an idyllic relationship, generator lovers. You know? And one says to the other, do you love me? And they go, uh-huh. And the other one says, well, do you love me? And they go, uh-huh. Hey, that's love, baby. You know? That's real. By the way, if one of them goes, uh-uh, then you know, don't invest in that relationship. It is not going to work. You see, in the end, the dilemma we have is genetic. It's always genetic. The genes say, I want that, because I don't have it. You know? So we get attracted to all of these things that we are not. It is why you end up with generators who are with projectors. I don't know which one of them is more insane in that relationship. I think they both have serious problems, but nonetheless, you know, we're really here to be with our own kind. That's difficult to get to because your mind isn't interested in that. It isn't sexy enough for your mind, you know. You know what your mind wants is what kills generators. Instead of discovering. Because you see, here is the blessing of the generator. Is that life is truly going to give you your purpose. You don't have to find it. You don't have to look for it. You don't have to think about where it is or where it leads or what it's about. Because you cannot know. Nothing more boring than this homogenized world where everybody comes out of the same damn cookie cutter. That everybody's dreams seem to be the same. How sad. Because nobody knows what's possible. They just don't. They look at this very, very normal world and they just have to fit in by not being themselves. And then they never get what's theirs. See, this knowledge is about liberating your uniqueness. That's what we're all here for. And for the generator, it is so simple. It's just movement. We're moving in a Maya, and the Maya's a duality, and you got to go this way or that. That's the game. The mind doesn't know, doesn't care. You know that already. The mind will mess up your life, and then it'll come back and say, gee, well, that didn't work. Let's try something else that'll mess up our lives. Your mind doesn't care. Doesn't care how much it hurts, doesn't care how much you suffer. As a matter of fact, the worse your life gets, the more your mind has fun. Because it has so many things to be tormented about and so many things to think about that it just keeps on going on and on and on until you're dead, which is actually something that you're grateful for when you finally get there. And fortunately, given the fact that it's fast, you can get over it in a hurry. Boy, that's not what it's about. But you see, because generators are born holy, they have to prove it. They have to embrace it and earn it. And you can only do that by giving up tomorrow. All generators. There are variations. I'll talk about the emotional after the break. But I really want you to grasp something about what it is to be a generator. Is that you are here to trust so deeply in the nature of being itself. It will provide.
If you have enjoyed the show and would like to learn more about how all of this applies specifically to you, then kindly refer to the link in this video's description, Private Consultation. Here, we can dive into all of the details together in a recorded call. May your signature vibration of satisfaction, success, peace, and surprise find you in a good way.